Hi, it's Dale from Reidys, and we are here at Roland HQ in Swansea, just taking a look at the new piano range that's coming out, and currently looking at the LX-17. So Neil, what can you tell us about this one?
Okay, so the LX-17 is the flagship of the new range. It's a top of the range model. It replaces the previous one, the LX-15.
Yeah.
It forms part of the new range, so there are 4 new models: the HP 603, HP 605, the LX7, and then the LX17. So all of the new pianos have various improvements over the previous range, but there are 3 key improvements across all of them. The first being a brand new tone engine, sound engine. The second one being enhanced new speaker system, audio system, and the third being a brand new hybrid action. So if we look at the sound engine first, this is perhaps the most innovative and revolutionary step forward in digital piano technology. And the sound engine is called supernatural behaviour modelling. A bit of a mouthful, but it's essentially moving away from the way traditional digital pianos work. Most digital pianos work using multi-layered samples. So a sample is a digital recording, it's a snapshot of what was going on in that piano at the time of recording. So when you play a note, you're simply playing back that recording. With supernatural modelling, the piano is creating the sound real time as you're playing, so it adjusts according to your playing style and your playing technique. So you're not simply playing back a recording, it's modelling the sound. And the benefit of this is that it can create the relationship between strings in a piano and how they behave with one another, and this in itself creates various overtones, resonances that you cannot achieve using a sample, a basic sample, because it's a simple recording and it's playing that note. So this is a real sort of milestone, step in innovation in terms of piano sound. So the benefit of it is that it's very dynamic, it's very expressive, and you get these really fine nuances as you hear the strings start to interact with one another. The other benefit with supernatural modelling is you hear of, often in digital piano terminology, polyphony limits. So you can play 128 notes and then notes start to fall off, or 256. There is no polyphony limit on here at all. So you could keep playing up and down with the sustain pedal on, and the notes would keep sounding and resonating and interacting with each other. So that's really important. Supernatural behaviour modelling. It's a real step forward in digital piano technology. The next sort of main thing that's been changed on the new range is the speaker system. So it's all very well having this lovely piano sound, but if your speakers aren't up to scratch, then point one falls down, you know. So we use a system called acoustic projection, and the idea behind this is relatively straightforward, but it's speakers that are placed around the piano at different positions to throw the sound at the player, to make it feel like they're sat in front of an acoustic piano. So you get different elements of the sound we were just talking about being routed to different speakers. So on this one, for instance, the LX-17, we've got 2 speakers at the top, and one faces upward, one faces to the side to throw the sound out asymmetrically. We've then got 4 speakers behind the key bed, and this separates the frequencies in the mid-range, but also will project hammer noises.
So all the noises from the keys that you'd expect.
The clicks, the thumps, the thuds will come out from the keyboard
as
area.
You'd expect on an acoustic piano.
And then the bottom speakers, your cabinet speakers, this is your main sort of sound from the soundboard. So you're getting this sort of 3D sound coming at you as it would come from an acoustic piano. So that is again an enhanced feature on the new range, and you'll find that acoustic projection is on this one, the LX-17, it's on the LX7, albeit with 6 speakers, and the HP 605 also has 6 speakers. The 603 has standard two stereo speakers. And then the third major change in the entire range is the brand new PHA 50 action. So this is a hybrid action, and it combines wood and moulded materials to give a really responsive keyboard action to work in harmony with the new sound chip. So the central part of the key is moulded material, so it's going to be durable, it's not going to swell, it's always going to be solid. The rest of the key is made up of wood to give it a light feel, but also aesthetically the look of an authentic action. So brand new sound chip, amazing new acoustic projection system, and a brand new hybrid part wood, part moulded material action.
So I noticed it's got Bluetooth connectivity as well. What sort of things can you get with this particular?
Okay, so all four of the pianos have Bluetooth on them, and this is great to. We can do a number of things, but first of all, you can marry up existing technology that you might have already invested in. So most people have a smartphone, albeit an iPhone or an Android, or a tablet or an iPad. And one of the immediately obvious things that you can do is just stream audio from those devices. So essentially turn this into a fancy set of Bluetooth speakers. So in your lounge, in your dining room,
not quite suitable for the barbecue.
No, it doesn't work on batteries. But you know, that's great just to stream your music. And it's a great, 8 speakers on here. It's a really fantastic output. So that's one thing that you can do, just stream music. That's also useful as well if you, let's say you want to you've heard a song or it's your favourite band, and you can stream the audio through here. You can try and play along with it and work out the chords. So you can do that. The other thing that we've discovered just by doing various searches through YouTube are there are numerous vocal only tracks. So whether they've been isolated using software or they are the original stems, but if you tap in vocal only or a cappella or isolated vocals,
you'll get something cropping up there.
Absolutely. And the beauty of that is type in the artist. If they're there, you could stream that voice through the piano and you play the piano along with your
so if you're not in a band, then you're pretty much in your favourite artist's band.
Play along, absolutely amazing. And I've seen it done several times, and people are blown away with it. But obviously, due to copyright issues, we can't do it now. So you can stream your music. You can use vocal-only tracks to play along with favourite artists. If you're using an iPad or an Android device, the other thing you can do, again through YouTube, if you just tap in piano lessons, there are hundreds of thousands of piano lessons on YouTube. They vary in quality, obviously, but there are some courses as well. But you could teach yourself to play the piano at your own pace. If you can't commit to having a piano teacher, every Monday at 7 o'clock, do it late at night, whatever you want. And rather than the audio coming out a really naff speaker, it's going to be routed through this. You can hear it coming at you, or alternatively put the headphones in. You've got all of the audio, the piano and the lesson coming through.
And it's all silent, obviously, if you've got the headphones, and you can do it whenever you want.
Absolutely.
At your own leisure.
Yeah.
Nobody has to listen to you if they don't want. So it's a good addition, definitely.
And I think that's really key, because a lot of people these days, very busy lives, want to learn the piano but can't commit, but can do it at their own pace, an hour here, half an hour there, through YouTube, through their iPad or Android devices.
And that's obviously completely free as well. So
free.
And at your own pace. So.
And it's marrying up existing technology that you
might already
have
the phone or the iPad or your Android device, whatever it is. If you've already got it, you might as well use it to its full potential and get something you can really use it with.
So the other thing you can do, you can download sheet music apps, so digital sheet music, again for Android or iPad, PDF format. You've got the music in front of you, connect via Bluetooth, and you can use the pedals to scroll through the pages. So rather than a physical page sound, because it's on the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Use the middle pedal to turn the page and the left pedal to go back. So that's really good. And the app's called Score.
Okay.
That's for iOS, and there are over 70,000 pieces of classical music that are available, and they're completely free.
Wow.
You can even write on the scores as well if you want to put markings and notes and things like that. There's another app called Sheet Music Direct, which works on iOS and Android, and again, digital sheet music. That's a paid service, but you get a lot more popular and modern stuff available through that. The third thing that you can do with Bluetooth on the pianos is transmit MIDI data wirelessly. So gone are the days of getting your MIDI leads. Yeah, exactly. Where does this plug? Connect wirelessly to a device and record MIDI data straight into something like GarageBand.
Yeah.
So if you're a composer and you want to multi-track,
and plus you get the action of the piano, which is
obviously
a great action. So you don't need to buy a MIDI keyboard or anything.
Exactly. So very straightforward.
Great stuff. Right. Shall we take a listen to how it sounds then?
Okay, so let's hear the Supernatural modelling engine. Okay, so that's a modelled sound.
Unbelievable.
As I'm playing, it's not triggering back multi-layered samples, but what you really need to listen for is the interaction of the notes once you've triggered off the initial sound. So I'll show you another example now, pentatonic scale, and I'll keep the sustain pedal down so they keep ringing.
Yeah.
But listen to the resonance afterwards, how the strings are now behaving with each other and resonating, and you get the nuances. And this is something you can't get from just straightforward sampling. So it's those overtones and the resonances that you can really hear, and they're changing. They're
you can hear it coming in and out, and different resonances coming back in.
So the beauty of having a modelled sound means that you're not stuck with one particular tonal characteristic. And the beauty of it is that you can change it. So on all four of the new pianos, 603, 605, LX7 and LX-17, you have a feature called Piano Designer. And Piano Designer is where you can edit or change certain parameters of the piano sound according to your own personal preference. So if you like a piano to sound a particular way, you can create it. If you like it bright, create it. If you like it mellow, change it. And you can do it two ways. You can do it on the piano itself, or using Bluetooth, you can use an app called Piano Designer and do it on the screen. It's a bit more visual, easier to do. So if we go into Piano Designer here, the first thing that it offers up is the lid of a grand piano. So putting it down affects the tone, putting it up will change it as well. So if we put it down completely, more of a muffled sound. Open it up, you can hear the sound change. It's a much brighter sound there. So there are other elements rather than just the piano sound. So we've moved the piano lid there, but here we scrolled onto the second parameter, and it's key off noise, and this is simulating the noise you'd get from a wooden action in an acoustic piano. So what I'm going to do is put this up to its full amount. You'd never play it with this because it'd be ridiculous, but just to show, that is the noise
You can actually
get.
hear as well. You won't be able to tell on the video, but the sound is actually coming right from the speaker
From the
there.
centre.
It's not,
So that's the acoustic projection really working at its best. So it's not coming out these top speakers because the action isn't there. It's the middle.
yeah.
It's the fallback of the action as you would get on an acoustic piano. So moving on, we can change the hammer noise. So more noticeable at the top end. So it's all these little extra sounds which contribute to the overall piano tone. So we'll go through a few others. So you've got string resonance. So this is happening all the time when you're playing the piano. If you might have depressed a key and it's resonating in sympathy with other notes that have been played on the piano. So if I essentially
You've lifted
the felt off the string, but I haven't struck the string. If I
we
we
can
get
hear the strings coming.
the strings resonating, and you get those overtones, and you can adjust those levels. Again, let's go through some other stuff on here. You can change the cabinet resonance, you can change the soundboard type. All of these parameters will change the overall tone.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to get involved with. There's all sorts of things you can customise there.
And once you've done that, you can save it.
Yeah.
So you can create your own personal piano, and so you could call it Reidys, Reidys Special, and save it into the piano.
Yeah.
This is a great one as well, a damper noise. So on an acoustic piano, when you press the sustain pedal down, all of the felts lift, and they sort of catch the strings on the way up. So I'll put it up onto its maximum.
Yeah, you can hear that.
You can hear those overtones. So it's all this attention to detail.
Yeah, it is. It's really high definition, isn't it? When you start adding all these things together, it makes a difference.
And it all contributes to the overall sound. It's not just recording that one note. It's the noises, it's the clicks, it's the thumps, it's the overtones. So working through Piano Designer, we now get to the part where you can customize the tone of each individual note. So you can change the tonal character, you can change the pitch, you can change the volume of each note. And this allows you to create, essentially from scratch, your own perfect, preferred piano. So we'll go into some of the parameters. So if I go into the note character, middle C, if I...
Alright, so you're actually changing the note individually there, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can change that character and do it all the way across the piano. So tonal character, the volume, the pitch, to create your own...
So it is literally your own incarnation, really.
Exactly.
Whatever you want.
So really powerful, the Piano Designer feature. The app, which is available, also has a number of presets in it.
So you can just call up some
that other people have done. We've had some technicians that have put together some models for us, and again, they all sound very different. We also have a model here today that we can show you that's just been done, and
let's have a listen.
Again, characteristically, very, very different. Okay, so this is a brand new piano model, and this was put together by a very reputable piano technician who tunes the pianos at the Royal Opera House or Royal Ballet. This is his interpretation of a model for us. Sounds completely different from the other piano that we've been playing.
A lot more harmonically going on there.
And if you heard on some of the dissonant notes that I played, you can hear it really sort of waving around.
It doesn't sound artificial, though. sounds really natural, the way that they're interacting with each other. It's not like an effect.
Absolutely.
It's like a realistic interpretation.
It feels alive.
Yeah, it feels like an acoustic piano.
So, again, a different sound, somebody else's interpretation. It sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, so this is something that you guys can do with the piano. Obviously, you can take the chap from the Royal Ballet, or you can do your own and see what you can come up with.
Absolutely. So you're not limited
yeah.
to, we've got 4 pianos
Yeah.
on this. Right, okay. What I'll do, I'll just take you across the control panel, because the control panel layout is the same on all 4 models, 603, 605, LX7, LX17. And if we just work from left to right, I'll point out some of the key features. Obviously, you've got your volume button here, but what's nice, when you plug your headphones in, it will default to a separate headphone volume, which is nice. When you unplug your headphones, it will default back to the speaker setting. So volume, moving along, you've got ambience, so this is your reverb, so make it sound like you're playing in a large hall, or if you want a really dry, flat sound and you're recording out into some software, you can use that on the ambience button. Next to that, you've got brilliance, so very simple, press brilliance, and on the main screen in the middle, you can select whether to have a brighter sound or a more mellow sound. So that's more of a quick edit function to change the sound to your own personal taste. Key touch. Most digital pianos have this these days. It's where you can change the sensitivity of the key bed. So whether it has a light touch or a heavy touch, it doesn't change the physical weight of the keyboard, but it changes the sensitivity. So therefore giving the feel of a lighter or heavier keyboard. Most digital pianos have light, medium, heavy or fixed. This has got 100 different levels. So if we go into key touch, we can adjust it on the main screen to your own personal preference. Next to that, we've got transpose button, very straightforward. You've learned a piece of music in a certain key. Your singer says, oh, it's too high, I need to drop it down. Press transpose, again, covers a full octave, let's drop it down to. Very straightforward. Moving along the panel, you've got the split feature, so this will give you 2 zones on the piano. So if you have a look, it's set to piano and acoustic bass. So I've got piano on the left, so just fun to play with, and you can change those combinations, so you don't have to have a acoustic bass. You can have any sound that's in the piano in the left hand, you have any sound in the piano in the right hand. You can also change the split point very easily just by pressing and holding, and press whatever key on the piano and it will change the split point. Next to that, you've got the dual mode, so very common to want to mix 2 sounds at once. So if I press that, I think it defaults with piano and strings. Piano and strings there. Like split, you can mix any sounds you want from the piano. You can also change the balance. So if I want to bring up the strings a bit, very straightforward. Then we're into our main tone banks now. So we heard some of the pianos earlier. You've got your main concert piano. Using the plus and minus button, you can select the different pianos within these banks. So we've got the bright piano, we've got mellow piano, ballad piano, and all the pianos in this first bank, these are your modelled sounds. Moving across, we've got EPs. These are straightforward samples. Again, within that bank there are various EPs. Moving further across, we've got our organ category, so often pianists like to play a bit of organ music as well. So what we can do here is put the pipe organ on, set our ambience over here to rich, so make it sound like I'm playing in a large hall, and so there are a number of different organs in here. So you've got a flute, got a jazz organ, so a lot of variety in there. We move over, we've got some strings. Again, multiple different string sounds within that category. And if we move over to other, this is where we find a whole host of other sounds, not only a general MIDI bank of sounds, so brass, guitars, drum kits and things like this. You'll also find some upright piano samples. So these aren't models, these are samples, but upright pianos have a very different characteristic. And again, within that category, there are numerous upright piano sounds. So they're your main piano tones and additional sounds within the range. There's over 300 sounds on each of the models. Moving along the control panel, we get to a new feature which is called registration. Very straightforward. It's like writing a patch into the piano. So if there are certain sounds or sound combinations you like, piano and string, piano and organ, you can save them in here for easy recall at a later date. We have next to the registration button twin piano. This is great for learning, teaching, or if you have more than one person learning the piano. Essentially, it will split the piano into two, and you have a middle C in each half of the keyboard. So let's say the piano teacher comes to your house and does lessons, and they're sat towards this end and they want to show an example. The pupil can be this side. And what's nice about that as well is the pedals split. So the right hand pedal becomes the sustain for this small piano, and the left hand pedal becomes the sustain for this small piano. So that's great for teaching. It's also great for duets. If you've got two people playing the piano, you can both, rather than buying two pianos, you've got them in one and play duets together. So twin piano, a great feature. Piano designer, as we've already looked at, this is where you can customize the piano sound to your own personal preference and really go into detail and create your desired tone. Moving across the control panel, we've got a built-in metronome. Very straightforward, very useful. Rather than purchasing a standalone metronome, it's built into the unit, so we can speed that up. Obviously, we can change the time signatures 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 6, 8. Great for practice. Moving along, we've got the song button. There's a lot of content within the new range of pianos. There are some beginner pieces. There are technique exercises like Hanon, Bayer, Czerny exercises. There's also newly added to this range are scales and harmonised scales. So practicing scales is it's dull. It's dull at the best of times. So having an accompaniment to play along to makes it just a bit more interesting. And the fact that you have 3 parts for each of these songs, so you have a right hand, a left hand, and accompaniment. It means that you can practice hands separately. So let's see if we can just have a quick look. We will go through to scales. C major scale. We've got 3 parts here, right hand, left hand, and the accompaniment. And if I play this now, so the piano is playing the scale, it's giving me an accompaniment, it's giving me rhythm to keep in time. What I'm going to do is turn the right hand part off, the piano will play the left, the accompaniment will play, and I can play the right hand on my own and practice. So it has every major and every minor scale programmed into the piano, and that's for the minors, it's harmonic and melodic. So really makes doing those boring scales a bit more interesting. Also, through PeerScore, the digital sheet music is available for the content in the piano. So the classical pieces of music that are in here, the scales that are in here, you can download that for free, play along, and you've got the scales in front of you. So that's all contained within the song feature. And then over here, the final part of the control panel is the recording facility. So very easy just to play, record yourself playing. This is great for a self-analysis or playback. So if you're learning a new piece of music, so stop. So really good for hand separate practice. Often when people are learning piano, you practice right hand first, get up to speed with that part, left hand second. When you're comfortable, put them together. So that recording facility is great to do that. You can then save that to USB and recall it at another time for future practice. So essentially, from left to right, a quick overview of the control panel, and it's the same on all four models.